Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Amazing, Sean. Thank you. We have top 101% of attorneys in the U.S. by U.S. News. She's a narcissist negotiation expert with more than 7 million views on YouTube. Best-selling author of 2 books, one on divorce and one on negotiation. Rebecca Zung is with us today. We are so grateful you're here. Rebecca, welcome.
Wow. Rebecca, how are you?
Sorry, I realized I was on mute. I'm great. How are you, Sean? It's so good to talk to you.
Yes, great to talk to you as well. So happy to hear that you're here and to experience you. And what's your fun fact, Rebecca?
What's my fun fact? I was just going to say that I'm half Chinese and half German, which means by definition that I have no fun genes whatsoever. It's very intense, very organized, and very efficient.
And Malcolm Gladwell says, and cites many studies that says everyone lies. And Rebecca, you lied already because you're fun. So one has already happened on the Real Raw for today. No, extraordinary. And I think
all she's got to do is hang out with you for a minute, Sean, and she'll really learn what fun is.
Well, thank you for that. And Rebecca, how would one describe narcissistic personality disorder, or what a narcissist is, and what's your take on the world of narcissism? I know you're a deep expert, but a lot of folks throw that word around. It's become popularized. And what would you give somebody in 30 seconds or so to think about in terms of those labels?
Really 2 main things. One is that they have no inner sense of self. So they try to get all their sense of value and worth from external circumstances or people. And number 2 is that they have an inability to have any sense of care or empathy or sympathy or deep feeling for other human beings.
Awesome. Well, thank you for all your work in the world. And we have some commonalities for sure in those departments and some of the cases we've worked on and things we've done. And thank you again for being here, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Gina, who we got to roll with Rebecca for today?
He's a plaintiff's attorney, a legal futurist at Palace Law, workers' comp, personal injury, seeking new ways to advance and improve his own practice and the legal profession as a whole. Mr. Jordan Couch is here with us today. Welcome, Jordan.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for being here, man. Happy Mastery Monday. And Jordan, where are you coming from and what's your fun fact?
I am here in Seattle, Washington, and my fun fact is that I once took second in a statewide ping pong tournament.
Extraordinary. We love mastery in every way, at every level. So congratulations on your outstanding ping pong-ness. And do you still play ping pong?
I do, but not as much as I'd like to because I don't have room for a table right now.
Well, Jordan, that is awesome. And Seattle, Washington is also, fun fact, the home of my dear friend, Kirk Adams, who is president of the American Foundation for the Blind. I happen to be blind, and we've been doing some really fun things together and amazing things. So Kirk's out there in Seattle. How's the weather for you and Kirk out in Seattle today?
Wonderful today. It's beautiful, sunny, up to 70 degrees, so it's looking nice.
Very un-Seattle-like, no?
Yeah.
So, Jordan, love you being here today. And quick, what's your why? You know, in the space of representing plaintiffs and what you're doing in the world, like what drives that?
I love helping people in their biggest times of need. And I love kind of working on complex problems, and doing plaintiff's work for injured people allows me to do both of those things.
Well, that is extraordinary. Right up there is my Uncle Jimmy's skis. He was tragic. He was a retina surgeon, an unbelievable human being, and he was tragically killed in a truck accident in 1998, rear-ended, and the folks that worked on this case did an extraordinary job. So thanks to you and for all the fine folks that bring justice and keep some non-governmental regulation on the behavior of giant corporations and people. So thank you for being here, Jordan.
Thank you.
Gina, got Jordan, Rebecca.
We also have this incredible woman who, after college, when she graduated, worked for a local yarn mill and as a legal secretary for her local attorney back in Greenville, where she was from, then graduated and eventually opened up her own practice in the heart of her hometown. She's an experienced litigator, negotiator, and counselor, actively involved in her community and empowering the youth. Ms. Zandra Johnson is here with us today. From my heart to yours, Zandra, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello,
Thank
Zandra.
you so much.
Yes, thank you for being here. And Zandra, where are you coming from today again?
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. And what is your fun fact, Zandra?
I don't know that I really have a fun fact.
Rebecca, and you have no fun, Zandra? You come from the right place today.
I have lots of interesting facts.
Yeah, please.
One interesting fact, which always seems to shock everyone, is that I now sit at a counsel's table. But about 20 years before law school, maybe 15 years before law school, I sat at a table as a criminal defendant, not once or twice, but several times. That's not that fun, but it's something I remind myself of daily when I interact with folks. And I guess if there is a fun fact, I always do the things that scare me the most. Skydive, all of that stuff. I can't swim, but I'll go parasailing. I'll do all of those things except scuba dive. So
we're going to get you scuba diving, Zandra. So Zandra, your flag in the ground, scuba diving is going to be present. With Zandra, would you go scuba diving with a blind guy? Yes or no? Come on, Zandra.
If I go scuba diving with anyone, I'd go with a blind guy.
All right. Thank you.
Named Sean Callagate.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, Zandra, you just made a horrible choice, but that's okay.
That was a horrible choice to start with because I can't swim. That was always a horrible choice.
Well, yes, I will definitely help you swim, but I will bring you into the most dangerous and insane of situations. So, story for later. So, Zandra, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Gina, Zandra, we got some others.
We do. She enjoys guiding people in their successful purchases and sales, as well as helping clients obtain their American dream as an immigration and real estate attorney. Grace O'Corey Eric is an attorney at her own firm in Chicago. She's here with us today. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Welcome. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. We have attorneys all over. We used to have all speakers and authors and TV. This is like my peeps here. So Grace, what's your fun fact?
Yeah, that was a hard word to think of. I think fun fact, I love food. That was it. I will eat anything. I've been to I travel. I love to travel. When I travel, I will eat anything. As long as I see people eating it, I'll try it. Maybe have to take some Pepto-Bismol after, but I will try any food because I'm a foodie.
May I give you a fun fact, Grace, about food?
Oh Lord. Okay.
Yes. So number one, I was in a room and my daughter is a wildlife ecology major. And I have an amazing love and sensitivity for animals. When I was a kid, I couldn't even step on a bug. True statement. And I actually rescued a mouse out of my mom's house once. I was on a glue trap and poured like warm water so not to burn it, to free its feet and let it go. It came back into my mom's house and she was so angry at me. She's like, I'm never ever asking you to help me again. And she like made sure that I did not come the next time the mouse at the glue trap. Now, I share that as a segue and lead into, so the zebra was yesterday, love animals, dead zebra in our friend's house. And he was very upset that he killed a zebra in Africa. It was like just this whole story. And then to satisfy my sadness, which is a horrible decision, I ate 1.5 candy caramel apples from Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory on the way to my red-eye flight back from Salt Lake City, Utah last night. So with the Pepto-Bismol reference, Grace, would you eat 1.5 caramel apples in one sitting on your way to the airport at about 11 p.m. at night? Yes or no, Grace?
I would.
No, awesome. So we appreciate you enormously. What's your favorite food, Grace?
Favorite food is rice, which is weird. Rice, like I'm originally from Nigeria, so I'm from rice. Any rice, it's my happy food. It's my favorite food. It's nothing crazy, but I also eat everything else. But rice just makes me happy.
Awesome. And my final fun fact on this moment, Grace, is I've never eaten rice or spaghetti. That is a true statement.
You should see the look of shock on her face.
I've never eaten rice, spaghetti, or had a cup of coffee, or had a mixed drink in my life. All 4 fun facts. So Grace, thank you for being here and Real Raw and our insane land. Gina, we have Grace, we have Xandra as judges for Jordan and Rebecca. We have one final extraordinary human. Who we got, Gina?
We have a trial attorney who practices in Jonesboro, Georgia, father-daughter law team, like super lawyer, rising star, President's Award at Clayton County Bar Association, lawyer by day, crafter by night. We have Jillian Todd. Welcome, Jillian.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Jillian, welcome to the party. And what is your fun fact?
Well, she kind of mentioned it. Lawyer by day, crafter by night. I love scrapbooking, wreath making, decorating for any holiday or party. That's my fun fact. That's where I have my creative outlet when I'm not doing law.
Yeah.
Sean, that sounds just like you.
I do. I am the anti-craft person. I couldn't draw a circle. I had sight until about a little under 8 years ago. I was losing my sight my entire life. But I couldn't even draw a circle in kindergarten when I was full-sighted. So that's a fun fact related to crafts. And in this world, Jillian, of crafts, what is your favorite craft or most proud one of all time for you?
Probably scrapbooking, because it has allowed me to document my life through pictures. And, it really, my friends, my family love looking at them because they're always like, oh my gosh, I forgot that we did this, or I forgot that we went to this. So it's great being able to have that to look back on, especially in today's time where everyone keeps their pictures on their phone. I actually print my pictures out and put them in a scrapbook.
Wonderful. And Tony Robbins says, any life that is worth living is worth recording. Congratulations on all that you're recording and sharing the magic with the people that you love. And thank you for being here, Jillian.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Gina, we got a full compliment, but I'm going to hit the sales sorceress for a second. So this woman didn't sell tots from her front lawn, which I misspoke on Friday. As a tot on her front lawn, she sold crafts. Boom, Jillian. And she went from there to becoming $1 million earner in the space of network marketing. Went from being in the space of network marketing to becoming the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. And today is the CEO of Alliance Sales, funding sales unicorns to help people build and accelerate their business. And coming fresh off the stage in Salt Lake City, Utah, the one and only Bella Verita. Bella, how are you? And what's happening on this Mastery Monday? How was your red-eye flight back to Florida?
How was what in Florida?
Your red-eye flight last night back to Florida.
My red-eye flight was pretty good, although I feel like my airplane had like been around for a while because it like made a lot of like shaky, creaky noises that like almost felt like a toy airplane. So I was a little bit uncertain about like my airplane I was on, but I did land safely here in Fort Lauderdale. Might have even taken a little nap when I got here, and here I am.
Yes. And so you definitely would not want to know that our airplane had lay down beds. You would not want to know that, correct?
Oh. I think you just told me.
Oh.
You had lay down beds. You had lay down beds, and you sent me on JetBlue with a 100-year-old airplane. I see how much you actually care about my life, Sean Callaghan.
Next time we will make JetBlue and Delta switch planes, and we'll give you the lay down bed plane. Deal?
Deal.
All right. We'll get our BB for Unblinded, and we'll have that soon with a lightning bolt on the tail, and on we go. So, Bella Frida, what is your fun fact besides the fact that you flew on a 100-year-old Wright Brothers airplane last night? What do you got?
So, Sean, did you also know that I was a Pong champion?
I did not.
Yes. It might have been beer pong, but nonetheless, it was Pong. I was a Pong champion just a few years ago. So there's my fun fact for the day.
Well, I am not confused about your beer pong championness as we roll in. And again, Bella, fantastic job. Bella was a part this weekend of us raising $401,000 in a room of 40 people speaking at a Chris Crohn's Convention Center, where half of the money went for saving children from sex trafficking, half went to the American Foundation for the Blind, and you did an extraordinary job, Bella.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to, there's nobody that does what you do, Sean. There's nobody. This is the third time I've seen you, raise hundreds of thousands of dollars in like minutes, like 30 minutes or less. And it is absolutely extraordinary. Your mastery in that is unparalleled. So it's just an honor and privilege to do that. Thank you.
And I think you've done it in like the last month, Sean. I'm just saying, like all of those, like that is a lot.
No, we've raised in the last month, we have raised $1.6 million for charity in the last 3 events we did. So yeah, and they weren't charitable events, so people didn't even know there was going to be a charitable fundraise. But we do talk about the superpower of influence, and that it's not just about marketing, it's not just about selling, it's not just about leading, it's not just about recruiting, it's also about contribution. And it's not only about money, it's about how we cause leadership to gather people to make incredible things happen. And for me, my heart, for all of you, that's what you guys are doing in the world. It's an honor to have you here today. So let's roll on. Gina Ricci, you are amazing as always. Love you. Thank you for everything that you're doing to cause this show, which more than 3,000 people have been on since the inception of COVID, not watched, been participating like these amazing 5 people today. Gina, we love you. You're extraordinary, and have a great day.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege. Have fun in the multiverse, everyone. Love you guys. Ciao.
Bella, who's going first?
I think Jordan should get to go first.
Jordan, outstanding. Did you play beer pong ever, Jordan?
Oh, I was on a team in law school.
Yeah, I would imagine you were pretty good at it, eh?
Not bad, that's for sure.
Yeah. Outstanding. So, do you think you would beat Bella Rita Jordan in beer pong?
I don't know.
He seems pretty uncertain, so I'm pretty certain I would win. Let's go.
We'll have to make that happen. But Jordan, Bella has said you're going first. Would you accept that challenge? Or we will give you this amazing bonus phone a friend dynamic that you could take Rebecca and throw her right under the bus and pass that option along. So would you like to go first, or throw Rebecca under the bus and have her go first?
Take on the challenge.
Awesome. All right, Jordan, who would you like Bella Rita to be? She'll be anybody that you want her to be in role play. Where you're going from hello to yes, could be an ideal client. It could be a judge you're arguing about with something, an adversary. It could be a potential alliance partner, anybody raising money for charity, an investment. It could be anything you want. Who would you like Bella to be, and what yes are you seeking?
So I do potential client calls all day. So that would be fun to do something of, you as an attorney that I'm looking for as a referral source.
Nice. All right, Bella, so you're an attorney that, and Bella, you can make up whatever type of attorney you want. Is that okay, Jordan, or you want to pick the type of attorney?
Whatever.
Yeah, cool. So Bella, you get to like roll with it. Jordan is going to be an attorney seeking a referral relationship. Bella Verita, attorney Bella Verita, please take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, this is Jordan. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Yes, Jordan, I've heard a lot about you. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I wanted to just kind of take a little time to talk to you and figure out how we can work together in the legal world a little bit. And I like to get to know my legal community. So first question I wanted to ask is, I know you've been practicing for almost a decade now. What got you interested in law in the first place?
Oh, what got me interested in law in the first place? You know, I would say what really got me interested, you know, when I was young, I would watch these shows that on like criminals who had been put away but didn't actually do the crime. And I got really super passionate about helping, you know, people that had been falsely accused of something, getting out from underneath those verdicts, getting out from underneath those verdicts and being able to make something of their lives.
That's so funny. I got interested in around the same time, but for all the wrong reasons. I saw a photo of my dad from high school in debate, which is nothing like law school. But in my mind, when I was a kid, I equated that with being a lawyer and decided I'm going to become a lawyer, even though no one in my family did. My dad was a fishing guide, right? Completely unrelated. But years later, it worked out somehow.
That's amazing. And what kind of law again did you decide to go into?
I really didn't know until I got out of law school. And then I kind of stumbled into doing workers' compensation and personal injury because I like helping people. Criminal defense work seemed always too stressful to me, right? Like there's so much on the line. If an innocent person could go to jail, I couldn't handle that much stress.
Yeah, there definitely is a lot on the line in those cases, but I love a good challenge.
Yeah. Did you start off right away doing criminal defense work, or did you test out some other areas of law first?
I kind of looked at some different things. You know, I looked at personal injury. I looked at, you know, some real estate contract law. I looked at some various things, but nothing seemed as exciting and had as many, you know, dynamics. And I also love science a lot. And so when it comes to criminal defense is, you know, there's a lot of forensic and science behind it, especially today.
Yeah, especially in the more complicated cases or if you're searching for things. So I'm curious, kind of as you built your firm, what was the kind of mission and branding you were focused on building for yourself and your firm?
Bella, you could pick up your mission and branding in a second. Mr. Jones is outside. He's got a van full of cash. And he said that you'll know what to do with it. I don't know what's going on. So could you help him out?
I got to go to the mall, guys. I'll see you later.
Thanks so much. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yes.
So Jordan, excellent work, my friend. How'd that feel for you?
Pretty good. It's rushed when you're in a short time like this, but it was nice getting to know someone.
Cool. Awesome job. Rebecca, are you ready?
I'm here. I'm ready.
All right. Who would you like Bella Verita to be?
So I was actually going to do the other side of the equation. I was thinking that I would be the lawyer and she would be kind of a narcissistic client who wants to hire me and is trying to negotiate with me on things.
Perfect. Bella, would you like to be a narcissist?
I'm going to be a narcissist.
All
I
right.
was married to one of those. I know all the traits.
Yeah, Rebecca, we had an episode where I had a role play Bella's ex-husband, the narcissist, to get Bella to say yes when somebody put me in the hot seat at the end of the show, which we'll do later today. So this is beautiful because it happened like last week. So great to hear, Rebecca. Ready?
Yes.
All right, Bella, take us in.
Hello, Rebecca. This is Bella.
Hi, Bella. Nice to meet you. What can I do for you today?
Yeah, I'm looking to, you know, inquire about your services and have you represent me for something.
Absolutely. So tell me what's going on. What's going on that you need my services?
Yeah. What, you know, because you were referred to me, what is your area of specialty so I can just like make sure you're the right person to help me?
I do high net worth divorce. I've only ever practiced in the area of family law and high net worth divorce litigation. Is that something that you're in the market for now? You need a divorce lawyer?
Well, yes, sort of. I mean, I do, but is there a way to like, you know, get a divorce and get out from underneath it without really telling him?
Without telling the other side that you actually are getting a divorce?
Yeah. Can I just listen to him?
No. So, but tell me more about that. Why would you want to do that?
Well, you know, I think I have done so much for him. I have put my career on hold. I, supported everything that he wanted to do. And, and then he just thinks he can go out into the world and do, whatever he wants with whoever he wants. And if he knows what's going on, he's not going to give me the money that I deserve.
Okay. So you're feeling like this relationship hasn't really been fair.
Yes, it's definitely not fair. I have done so much and he basically does nothing but go to work.
Okay. And so you're feeling like that you want to be recognized in this divorce by maybe getting more than what the law might normally provide or something like that.
Rebecca, he would be nowhere without me. Let's just be real. He would be absolutely nowhere without me.
Okay. So what would a perfect situation look like for you?
A perfect situation would be that I think I should get all of the houses. I think I should get the cars. He should be left with one car. Maybe he can have an apartment. And then I think, just from my level of care, I probably, contributed to at least 60% of the income. So even though he did the work, I definitely feel like I should get at least, 60% of his retirement.
Excuse me, Miss Bella, before you continue with Rebecca, it's your fourth husband on the phone. And he said that your fifth husband is wondering who you're talking to. It's getting very complicated. So you might want to take his call.
Excuse me, Rebecca, I will be right back.
Absolutely.
All right. Rebecca.
How's that for a narcissist? Did I do good?
You did great.
Rebecca, did Bella do so well that it's a little bit should I be concerned or no?
Well, I don't know, because narcissists are really good at playing parts. So sometimes it's really hard to tell what's the real thing and what's the narcissist. You got to get really good at reading them.
Yeah. And for fun, out of role for a second, isn't that the dynamic? We live in a world that there's obviously legitimate narcissistic personality disorder. There's levels and scale of narcissism. I think you would agree with that. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Totally.
Yep. So the question is, how do you figure it out? Because somebody who is incredibly contribution oriented, I had the privilege.
You can totally tell. As soon as you're in a relationship with them, you'll know. Got
it. So let's hear more about that potentially in round 2. That would be outstanding.
Okay.
So Rebecca, beautiful work. Let's start with Xandra. Please, we're going to do 30 seconds of feedback. Bella is going to be the princess and goddess of time integrity. And she'll be like, and your score is when time is up. If you wouldn't mind giving 15 seconds of feedback on what worked, 15 seconds of feedback, what could be optimized. First to Jordan, Xandra, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Please, Xandra, what do you have?
Oh, wow. Okay. Jordan was really great. The invitation to a personal share, I really liked. As well as his responsive sharing, which provided some transparency. I think that one of the things he could have done better is when he first talked to her, he said, I want to talk about how you and I can work together. And I forget what the second thing was, but I think he should have led with the second thing because the second thing made her the more important person in the conversation.
Nice.
And I guess I'm assuming that the 1 is the lowest and the 10 is the highest.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I give him an 8.
Nice. And how about for Rebecca, please, Xandra?
And with Rebecca, I was all engrossed in that conversation because it's so close to home. I really appreciated her tone and the way she acknowledged Bella during the conversation because there was an incidental validation. Whether it was real or not, I think it was an incidental validation that Bella could have felt that made her more comfortable and would get her to where she said yes without realizing she was saying yes and Rebecca was not truly in agreement with her. For that, I give her a 9.
Nice. Great feedback, Xandra. Thank you so much. Let's go with Grace. Grace, would you please give us 30 seconds of feedback for Jordan?
Sorry. Yes, definitely. Jordan, I thought it was a great job. I think I really love the friendly, how he created that friendly atmosphere, made her at ease. And, they had the conversation. They shared little things about themselves. And even when the conversation would draw into more personal discussion, he always brought it back to the point and the focus of the discussion. So I really like that. Jordan, I think what I just noted maybe could have been done better, not necessarily, but I think you did great. Even with that, was just be more with the introduction. I feel if I were on the receiving end of that phone call.
Okay, you gotta give a score.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really quickly, what is it?
Score for Jordan, 9.
Nice. Bella Reed is that goddess of time integrity. So
Yeah, but I wanted to get that one piece of feedback. So I was trying to just spit it out. What was the one thing that he could improve? Like, if you could spit it out really quickly.
Give the exact topic. So give a topic of what he's going to talk. Be specific. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Grace, she can get very aggressive. We're going to get a review by Rebecca at the end on how this is working out. So don't worry. No, excellent job.
You're talking about me. Why I'm here? You get everybody else planes with lay down seats, and you give me 100-year-old planes. I see where this is going.
Grace.
I appreciate you.
Grace, what do you have for Rebecca?
Rebecca, definitely say, I agree with what the previous judge said. I appreciated your validation, the way, even though we all heard she seemed a little crazy, but you also acknowledge her feelings, how she felt, and that way you were able to identify her concerns and figure out ways to address them. What could have been done better? Honestly, I had nothing for that. I don't know if I have to say so, but I really had nothing. So, time lady, am I okay? Score 9 also.
Nice. Excellent job. Well, thank you for that so much, Grace. Jillian, which also happens to be the name of my godchild. So that is bringing up fun and warm feelings. So Jillian, what did you have for Jordan?
I thought Jordan did a great job of being friendly and inviting. I liked how you asked her an introduction question to get to know her and then also related it to yourself, your own experience. And I thought that even made her feel more comfortable, wanted to open more, with you. I do think that, probably circling back and as to why you wanted to establish a referral relationship with her, what about her did you want to contact her about? Meaning
and
you saw her. I'm sorry?
And your score is?
8.
Nice. Thank you for that. Jillian, how about for Rebecca?
Rebecca, I agree with what everyone else has already said regarding your tone. It was, although, I think as Grace mentioned, Bella seemed a little, crazy, but your tone didn't show it at all. And as we know, that's very important. I thought that when she asked you the question, you answered her honestly, but you also asked, but tell me why, you're asking that. Tell me why that's important, that you don't want to know that you're getting a divorce. The other person knows that. And also asked about her perfect situation. So I thought that was really good. So I give you
your score for Rebecca is? What was your
9.
score, Rebecca?
I said a 9.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Jillian, for that. So excellent job, Jordan and Rebecca. Thank you, Xandra. Thank you, Grace and Jillian, as we complete round 1. And Rebecca, Bella is off the phone with husband number 4, here to talk about husband number 5. She's looking to see how many houses she can get and leave with an apartment. And please take us back in.
Okay, so Bella, tell me more about your situation and what it is that you're trying to get from your ex-husband. We left off where you were saying that you wanted everything. I want to know more about, are you trying to punish him, or are you trying to have a fair outcome?
Oh, I'm definitely thinking that he should be punished. There's nothing fair about that. Do you know what he's done to me? There's nothing. He's made me stay home while he's out gallivanting around all of these galas and stuff. God knows how many women he's sleeping with. It's a complete embarrassment while I'm at home helping him build this. I absolutely definitely.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. How much in attorney's fees are you going to be willing to spend in order to punish him?
That's a very good question. How much will it cost me?
Infinite.
Infinite. Okay. Tell me more.
It can go on forever and ever because if you are using the court system to try to punish him, then you will have endless things that you can do. You can file endless motions. You can refuse to give up documentation. You can refuse to, obey court orders. There are a number of things that you can do. I personally am not the lawyer for you if that's what you want to do, but those are the kinds of things that you can do to try to punish. Here's the other side of that, I should just tell you, and that is that judges will eventually see through that, and you probably won't get more than what the law will provide in the end. So unfortunately, there's a huge difference between divorce law and divorce justice. And justice isn't something that the law is really set up to give you. And so I would suggest that maybe you want to consider thinking of other ways to potentially heal yourself. And in this particular situation, get as much as you possibly can. Oh, absolutely not. And I've been in these situations. I've seen it before, and I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, it seems so unfair because you did more for him in the relationship. You provided, you were the perfect wife, the perfect spouse, and you expected to be with this person for the rest of your life. And this person turned around and did all these things to you. And you're looking for a way to be made whole for that. And I totally get that. Unfortunately, the law is not set up to make somebody whole. The law is set up to just split assets, give a time sharing plan for the children, see if there's any kind of alimony claim to be had or not had. That's it.
Well, it sounds like I'm going to get screwed either way. So we might as well just, move forward and figure out whatever the best way to handle this is.
Well, hopefully you won't get screwed as far as the law is concerned. As far as your feelings of being made whole and justice, I think that maybe doing some healing work and talking to some therapists and people who can help you.
Plant medicine will work?
Say again?
I said, do you think plant medicine will work? I was being funny since we're out of time.
Oh, okay.
That was my healing, but.
Yes.
No.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's your 12th boyfriend, one of your 12 boyfriends. And he's saying he wants to talk to you because you promised him that you would make sure that the money didn't go to your lawyer and all the money you're fleecing out of your husband is going to go to his pocket. I don't know what he's talking about, but could you take that call?
Yes, I will take that call. Pardon me, Rebecca. That was phenomenal.
Sure. Rebecca, excellent work. Really interested. Great congruence, immense energy transfer. How much command and certainty, Bella, does Rebecca have?
It's phenomenal because it's really, I'm present too, even in the crazy, as Julian would say, even in the crazy, just how calm you are. And if that's what you want, I'm not the right attorney for you. And how, you also made it make logical sense in the fact that, if I chose to go down this route, that, how time consuming it would be. So it was phenomenal.
Yeah. Awesome job, Rebecca.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bella, the cash from Mr. Jones is like an issue. It's there. Jordan is looking to talk to you. So please take us back in.
Hello, Jordan. I'm back.
Hey, I hope everything went well with that client.
Yes, it did. Thank you, Jordan.
So we were talking before, and I was curious, what's the mission you're building your firm around? What is it you hope to build with this firm?
Yeah, the mission is, I think right now to, hit our first 100, get out of jail, reversals of the wrong accused.
Well, that's amazing. That's a good goal to be having. I love working towards that. I'm curious, in criminal defense work, at least in injury work, I find that my clients really come to kind of depend on me, and you get that wonderful personal connection that I love, and then they're calling me for everything, no matter what it is, right? Do you get that in the criminal world as well?
Definitely.
that's kind of what I figured. It happens with you. You make that connection to someone and they just come to kind of really attach themselves to you. And it's so wonderful. And part of the reason I ask is, I'm always looking to expand our practice as well, right? Our mission is to serve the injured in every community. More and more people, the more we can help. And so we're always looking for referral sources. And I'm hoping that I could potentially be a referral source for you as you kind of have clients calling to you or coming back who have solved their criminal issue, but now have been injured in some way.
Oh, I hadn't really thought about that, because I was definitely interested, to see where this conversation would go, because I didn't see where the intersections of, personal injury and criminal defense really would intersect. But this is interesting, and I would like to hear more.
Yeah, I'm curious, what do you do right now when clients call you and say like, hey, I've, just gotten injured. What can you do to help me, right? You don't practice criminal defense, but I imagine you get those calls.
Yeah, I would say it doesn't happen all that often, but it has happened. So I think we've just told them we don't handle that.
See, this is why I like kind of having other attorneys I have connections with them that I know, because I really try to stress to my clients that I'm here for them, that I'm helpful for them. And after they built that bond for me, I know that securing a relationship with an attorney can be a really stressful situation for a lot of people. Most people will call up to like 3 or 4 people before they get someone to even answer the phone sometimes. And I don't want the people that I have the connection to have to go through that. So I love having people I can call when they call me and say, hey, I have a criminal defense case. I can say, I don't handle that, but I have a friend who's ready to take your call. Here's the phone number for their direct line. I love having that kind of full service support for the people I care about.
That is incredible. I like where this is headed.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm hoping we can make that connection. Do you have any questions for me about what that would look like?
No, I think, maybe having a longer meeting, I'm sure, there's some things I probably need to introduce to some people on my team, and we can go from there.
Yeah, I want to have you get to know my team a little bit in our process too, so you can be, feel really confident behind the process you're sending your clients off to.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. We should get them all on a real raw so they can all get to know each other.
Absolutely.
Excellent job, Jordan. Bella, you got to take that phone call from Mr. Jones. This time he's back with a bus of cash. This dude's doing something interesting, and he said he just came back from Medellin, Colombia. I know what he's talking about. But
right.
He doesn't sound wrongfully accused, I got to say.
Thank you, Jordan. Awesome job. Jordan, Rebecca, are you fine folks ready to have a little bit more fun?
Sure.
Okay, so Rebecca, as the high scorer in round 1, you get the option of choosing to put me on the hot seat, the proverbial hot seat, because I don't really think there's a hot seat, or on the spot. I don't actually think it's on the spot, but these are things that we say on the spot or on the hot seat, where I have to go from hello to yes, being any avatar in the world that you choose. So you get to set the scenario. I've got to be the person to go from hello to yes, or you could pass the scenario setting along to Jordan. So would you like to put me on the hot seat, or you want to have Jordan put me on the hot seat?
I think I'll let Jordan do it, since I'm not 100% sure how to go about doing that. So I'm going to have Jordan do it.
All right. So Jordan, who would you like me to be? I have to go from hello to yes. The only request is that it's integrous. So we're not here to sell things that aren't real. We're not here to defraud and harm people. We're here to talk about integrous influence, which is really rooted in the unpacking of value after we open listening with heart-to-heart connection. So Jordan, who would you like me to be? And what is the yes I am seeking from whatever avatar?
And are you playing off me or playing off Bella?
I'll be doing that with anybody you choose, Jordan. So you can select another person, yeah.
Let's keep the criminal defense angle. How about someone who is definitely guilty seeking to have an attorney represent them?
Nice. And who would you? So I'm going to be the accused who is guilty, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And who would you like to be the attorney I'm seeking to work with?
Rebecca, I'm going to throw the hot seat back to you, as we call it.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for that, Jordan. And again, I'm going to approach it integrously, Jordan. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yep. So, Rebecca, hi, Miss Rebecca. Is that what I should call you? And thank you so much for taking a few minutes to chat today. I'm really grateful.
So let me just make sure I'm understanding correctly what the thing is. I'm the criminal defense attorney, and you're the client?
Yes, you're like an amazing criminal defense attorney.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that I have our roles properly discerned. Okay.
And I'll add even another difficulty factor for me. So, Rebecca, is it okay if I call you Rebecca?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for the 3 minutes. I know how busy you are. I've seen your work. And can I ask you a question up front? Is why do you continue to do what you do? You're famous. You're on television. You've worked on some of the most profoundly complex cases, from white collar things to murder cases. What keeps you still passionate? And I guess, are you still passionate?
I like to stay connected to the practice. I like to stay connected to the people and stay abreast of the law and keep my skills sharpened. And I also think it helps lend credibility to who I am, that I'm still a practicing attorney and still in the trenches. And I haven't lost sight of what that means.
Well, thank you so much for that. So when you evaluate whether to take on a case and how it affects, your heart being in it, or not, what do you look for in a case and a client?
I have to believe in the client. I have to have a passion for the circumstances. I want to feel like it's a personal crusade, a personal mission, where I'm actually doing good in the world, where I'm accomplishing something for maybe an underdog or a person who might not necessarily have been able to get the outcome that they wanted. And feel really emotionally attached to it in a good way, not in a bad way, but in a way that is healthy, in a way that that the client would want.
Yeah. Well, it's extraordinary and resonating with my heart, because what I'm hearing is deep work and a level of emotional intelligence that no attorney I've spoken to has had yet. Because what I think I just heard you say is being appropriately heart-centered connected, but really having healthy boundaries. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, you definitely have to have healthy boundaries. Having done this for a really long time, it's important. It's really important for the client that there's healthy boundaries as well, because then I don't lose sight of what I can and can't do under the law, what I think is something that will work or not work. And so it helps keep me in integrity as well.
Well, thank you for that. It's okay in our final minute if I share a little bit about what's going on to see if it's worth your time and having a longer conversation.
Please.
Yeah. So again, my name is Joe, and I'm accused of having bribed doctors to sell pills to clients or fill prescriptions for clients that were addicted to opioids. And I live in a suburban community. I have 3 small children. I'm a member of my church. I've led a good life in many, many ways, and been an upstanding member of the community for the last decade plus. And I did it. So my brother-in-law came to me one day and said, listen, people are buying opioids anyway. Like, this is what's happening. And I take full responsibility. I got caught up. I was in pharmaceutical sales. I saw how much, certain people made. I knew other people were doing this. And I started with one situation where somebody was like, hey, let's do it. And it kept going. And I've destroyed my life. I've destroyed my wife's life. I've shamed my children, even though they're not even old enough to understand what's going on. I know I've done all these things, and I have no money, or I have very little money. I have about $25,000. I think I could raise about another $25,000 from family. And, Rebecca, I know it's going to cost more to defend this case. And I know this is not a case where civil rights are at stake. This is not a case where somebody's been wrongfully accused. But I would really be grateful if we could take a little bit of time to see if this case is worth your representation. I don't want to hide anything. I don't do anything wrong. But if there's any possibility of me to make amends for this, for me to stay out of prison, for me to be on probation, for me to do whatever I have to do within the balance of morals, ethics, and justice to make this right and right this ship and be an example, if that's possible. I don't even know how the system works. I just love to have a longer conversation. And if it doesn't resonate with you, I completely understand. So, Rebecca, would it be worth your time having a little longer conversation?
Let me ask you, so your why as to why you did it was money?
I'm telling you honestly, yes. And the why was money on the surface. The deeper reason was because I want to create a better life for my family. And I'm not going to ever lie to you. That is the truth. It's embarrassing. I've been in counseling since. And the other truth is I've never done anything like it my entire life. And in a moment of absolute ridiculousness, with my brother-in-law there, it's not his fault, it's my fault. It seemed like it was a good idea, and I kept moving forward in it. I've never broken the law before. I've never told anything beyond a white lie before. But yes, I did it for money, and I did it because I thought I was going to provide a better life for my family, and that's the truth.
But you don't have any money now.
I have about $25,000 because we bought things, we leveraged things. I tried to buy a second house. It was a poor decision. It went under. So the money I did make from doing this, it was only about $150,000. We attempted to do some things to multiply it, and I have just the 25,000, and I could try to borrow the 25,000 from somebody else. And I would do anything I could to try to raise more money. But I, again, appreciate a longer conversation, but I can feel this is potentially not resonating.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It's a hard question. It's an easy question, but a hard question.
Yes.
Are you only sorry because you got caught?
I am obviously sorry that I got caught, but I am sorry that I made this mistake for my children, for my wife, for my parents, for my wife's parents, for my in-laws, and to God, because I do believe in God. And so I am not just sorry because I got caught. I felt sick for a lot of the process, and I was in it, and I kept going, and every single day I was involved, I knew it was the wrong thing to do.
But if you were not caught, would you be continuing to do it today?
I don't know. I'd like to say that I would have found my way out of it sooner. And it was something that was getting harder and harder to do every day. I promised I would never lie to you. I don't know if I would have been done by now. I'm sure I would have stopped at some point, 100%. And that's my honest answer.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this is the right case for me, only because for a number of reasons. One is just from a conscience point of view. I'm thinking of all of the people that potentially were hurt because of your actions and continuing to enable people who were drug addicted and maybe people who died as a result, and families that were mourning because of that. And of course, there's some responsibility to the drug addicted person as well. But as a doctor, you took an oath. My father was a doctor, so I feel a sense of dignity around that. I can feel that you feel very sorry now, and I can feel that, you certainly seem to be, contrite, but on the other hand, I'm not sure that I'm the right person to pick up the crusade and defend you with full vim and vigor in this situation. I'm certainly happy to refer you to other people who are very good, and you can have a conversation with them and see if it's a fit.
Yeah. So thank you for the direct feedback. I know already way over time for what you had graciously given me. I'm going to make one final request, and it's to please have that 30-minute meeting. And I am committed to making sure I find a way to add value to your life. And how about we make this agreement, Rebecca? If I can't find a way that it makes sense, that I'm going to add value to your life in a meaningful way, which I'll write to you, I'll leave a message with your assistant. And I don't mean money. I mean that you're going to feel moved and impacted. There's going to be enough value in this. Would you at least have the 30-minute meeting if I make that offering of value in some way to something that matters to you, whether it be through
Absolutely. I would totally be open to that.
Yeah. Well, then I will commit to do it, because I don't want to ever take anything from somebody without giving more value than I receive. And I know I don't have the money, but I want to find a way to add value to your life. And if you'll keep an open heart to that, then I will endeavor to figure that out. Does that sound fair?
It's totally fair. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. Roll. So thank you, Rebecca. That was a tough one.
I was like, are we about to get the first no ever? And then I was like, I know, Sean Callie, we're not ending it that way. So this could go on for another half an hour, because the yes was committed. That was amazing.
And so, and thank you, Phil. And just for everybody, really every yes that we seek in the world is based on value. And these unique moments where we raise money for charity, I had the opportunity to be on a private island in the British Virgin Islands a little over a month ago. Bella was there, and one of the 2 trips that we made there. And on that trip, I had the opportunity to talk to Tim Ballard, the head of Operation Underground Railroad, which I had raised $1.7 million for in a Tony Robbins room about 3 years ago. About a year and a half ago. And to Mr. Ballard, I was sharing something that was a little bit complex, but the truth. And I said that, because we had a private screening of a movie about his life, and it's absolutely extraordinary. The stories that were told and what Tim Ballard has done. And so I said to him, there's a hard part to this, although, and that's when you're in these scenarios with people in fundraising, the great mistake that people make is they're not giving value. They're telling a really horribly sad story, which there are endless amounts of in the world, which make everyone in the room feel so unbelievably connected to their heart, people that have empathy. And then the challenge is, though, what causes people to do things is when they receive something of value, whether that's emotional value, that's monetary value, that's time value, energetic value. And so I said, the reason we raised so much money at Tony's birthday, and he had just come off of being at an event, then he made an appearance, and there were billionaires in the room and things, and they raised no money at somebody's home. And they said, that's because people tend to give in these moments, in these situations, out of significance. One of the 6 human needs. If it's your first or second top need, you're in big trouble. But our awareness of the dynamic human need for significance and leveraging it with integrity. So giving people what they actually want. So one of the things that we did in that scenario, and we did this past weekend, was it gave people the opportunity to come up on stage that were receiving something that they were investing value into monetarily, to receive the value of connection on the stage. So whenever we think about, yes, in our leadership, our recruiting, our selling, our marketing, integrous influence is where we're exchanging true value, and true value goes so far beyond money. And so I leave you with that thought. Does that sound like it resonates, Rebecca, or no?
Absolutely. That's my entire book. And I don't know if you recall, but you and I had a conversation with David Gonzalez. Maybe.
Yes, who, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, Rebecca, who, by the way, is who introduced Bella. Bella came into our program, and Bella was the real raw. So please, back to you, but I absolutely do. And I thank David for the introduction to Bella and for you being here.
Yeah, thank you. But we talked about this a little bit, but my book is called Negotiate Like You Matter. And matter is actually the acronym for how to negotiate. But the very first thing that I say is my value is defined by me, and value is the whole thing. And the reason why I call it matter is because all human beings want to feel seen, heard, and know that they matter. And if people don't get value out of a negotiation, they are there's not going to be a resolution. And if there is, then it won't stick. It's a deal that won't end up sticking. People will end up, wanting to nix the deal or whatever, trying to get out of it. So I 100% agree with everything that you're saying. It all comes down to value. It all comes down to human beings feeling like they were seen, heard, and they knew that they mattered in that negotiation. Otherwise, why bother?
Yeah. And Rebecca, like Bella, holy resonance, right? Yeah. And Rebecca and all, I'm sure you know this, Rebecca, Oprah Winfrey said she held the microphone for 30,000 people because she said, I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters. So this is like eerie resonance. So outstanding.
Absolutely.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So judges, let's, as we are at that sort of time moment, let's give some beautiful feedback, please, for Rebecca first. And let's go in reverse order. Jillian, what'd you have for Rebecca and Jordan? They did an outstanding job today for sure. But please, what feedback, 30 seconds, did you have for Rebecca?
I don't really have much to add to what I said before. I think your tone is it's very calming. Going back to your conversation with Bella, I thought it was good that you went ahead and went to the money point, because sometimes you talk to clients and you already know this isn't someone I actually want to work with. And so I thought it was a great way. You did a perfect segue into bringing it to be like, you know what? I don't know if you're going to be able to afford me. But you said it in a way that was very polite, and it wasn't, offensive to Bella at all. So I thought you did an excellent job.
And your score for Rebecca is?
10.
All right, finally. I was like, wow, this is a tough crowd. Yay, thank you.
Between on the Real Raw. Congratulations, Rebecca.
What's that?
He's even having fun, Sean.
I think so. I said 10s are very few and far between on the Real Raw. I said, congratulations. That's
thank you. I was like, wow, this is like tough. Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I just won the lotto.
That's like a 0.1% dynamic on the Real Raw. So outstanding. But
oh my God.
I'd say 0.5%. So awesome. Beautiful. So Jillian, please, what'd you have for Jordan?
Jordan, I thought it was great that you asked her about the mission for her firm, so you could get an idea of, what kind of person is what kind of business owner is she? What's her goal? To see, obviously, as much as you're trying to see if you have a referral relationship with her, do you want to have a referral? Is this someone you want to take referrals from? But I thought you definitely got to the point, which I had mentioned before, that finding out, does she even come in contact with people who have personal injuries and would be able to refer any people to you. But I thought it was good that you said, hey, this is what I do for my clients, and this is what you can do too. So I give you a 9.
Nice. Awesome job. Excellent job, Jordan. Jillian, thank you so much for being here. Awesome feedback. And how'd you enjoy your experience today on the Raw?
I thought it was great. It's all great learning experience for me too, because, I talk to potential new clients every day. So I just really enjoyed it. This was a great experience, one that I haven't had before. So I just want to say thank you so much for including me.
Wow. You have such great energy, Jillian. Really appreciate you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Grace, how are you? And please, what do you have for Rebecca?
Yes, I'm great. Thank you very much. Rebecca, I think just same thing I said before, but in addition to that, I really appreciate how you helped her bring it into perspective. I want to punish this person, and just giving her the perspective of how much it'll cost, and also providing the option of the healing process, which is something you didn't have to do, but I think that would hopefully help her along. So score for Rebecca, I'll do a 10. Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Awesome.
And then Jordan, real quick, Jordan, same. I think my feedback before also was the same thing. I think I just wanted to see you. I mean, you did great, of course, very personable. I love the flow of the conversation. I would like to have that conversation. But I think one thing critique I would say would be that I wanted to see you take charge of that conversation more, like tell her, this is what I need you to do. This is what needs, because I felt like she was waiting for some direction from you, or where is this conversation going type of thing. So just be specific. And I'm taking note of that myself too. But Jordan, score 9. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Woo!
Excellent. So Grace, thank you so much. And how was your experience with these fine folks in the Real Raw today?
This experience was awesome. And thank you so much for having me, because I was telling them earlier, today has been a crazy day. So this has been the highlight of my day. Thank you for having me. And it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. And last, but certainly not least in the judging category, Zandra, what did you have for Rebecca?
Phenomenal. She did a phenomenal job. I really appreciated the search for her own personal value in the situation, and how she didn't compromise her core values. I always have a problem with doing that. I let people lead me to say yes when I really should say no, and it doesn't. It's not a commitment to my core values. So I really appreciate that she stuck to her core values. I think that says a lot about her integrity as an attorney, and I feel like that client would come back to her for that reason alone.
And your score for Rebecca is?
10.
That's a hat trick!
In all of your co-hosting on the Real Raw, is that the first 310, perfect 10.0, a la Nadia Comaneci circa 1976 Olympics? Is that our first 310s since you've been on the co-hosting?
That is our first 310s since I've been co-hosting as well. Congratulations, Rebecca?
Woo! I'm like so like you know, because I'm supposed to be this negotiation person. I'm coming on this show like, oh my God, I hope I don't tank, right? So thank you. I'm so excited.
Yes, that is absolutely awesome, and really appreciate you. So great job. And please, let's go real quick, come back right back. What do we have, Sandra, for Jordan, who also, by the way, crushed it today. Beautiful job. Yeah, please.
Jordan did a phenomenal job this time as well. I appreciated that he provided her information. Do you want to know, or gave her the opportunity to learn what that would look like, what the referral would look like. So I do believe that he got there. I think it took him a little longer to get there, but I do appreciate that he got there. And with him, I would think that probably offering a follow-up with an email or something may have helped bring the client back around. But I think he did a great job with what he was given, and I also gave him a 10. So.
Wow. Boom! Sandra, thank you so much. This is a very fun day. I don't think Bella, we've had a day with 2 10s.
No, this is quite an extraordinary day on Mastery Monday.
It is. And so how was your experience today, Sandra?
It was a lot more than I expected. I am pleasantly surprised. I am glad that I did something that I don't normally do. And I am currently president of my sorority. So we've been doing this leadership training, and it was amazing to hear all of the parallels of my leadership training and my commitment to core values come out in these scenarios. I didn't expect that. So it was a phenomenal experience, and I'd recommend it to anybody.
Thank you for the courage and vulnerability to do it, and the open-mindedness. And we ain't no punks here, so we ain't moving. And thank you so much, Andra, for that openness, because obviously language is so imprecise, and our attempts to convey our meaning and what's actually occurring is lost in the translation between human beings. And every one of us speaks a different language. Every single one of us. The word happy, magic, money, sadness, all these things mean different things to every one of us. So thank you for the courage of come and check out what the actual experience was. So Rebecca, how was it for you today? I'm imagining it was kind of cool since you had 3 10s, perhaps as one of 3 people in the history of the Real Raw to do so. So what say you?
I'm so honored. I'm so honored about the 3 10s. I'm so honored to have been on this show. And I loved it. It was super fun. I really didn't know what to expect. And I thought it was really, really fun. Way more fun than I expected, because I just didn't know what to expect. So
well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And Jordan, how was it for you today, man? Congratulations on throwing a 10 on the board yourself. How was it for you?
Yeah, I came in hoping to have fun, and I definitely did, more so than I thought I was going to. It's always an interesting situation. Having 5 people come together like this was really fun, and it was fun to have all attorneys in this group. Like, it just made it a really good group dynamic to learn from. I thought was really cool.
Well, thank you, Jordan. You did an awesome job today. And Bella Verita, what final finding do you have? Because I don't know that we've had a day of 5 attorneys either. So all sorts of records broken today. So what say you, Bella?
Well, I was gonna say, the one thing I'm present to, Sean, is if people didn't like attorneys before, like, all I gotta do is watch The Real Raw, and I think it completely changes the perception of attorneys, because every single one of you, first of all, Sean, like, you can't see this, but every single one of them has a smile. Like, every single one of them just has beautiful energy, and my paradigm of attorneys has been shattered as a result of this. So thank you all for just being here and contributing yourselves to this experience. And it doesn't have to end here.
Hey, Bella, right before you do, so Callagher Law, my firm, I have a 125-person law firm. Our vision statement that I created about 9 years ago was to fundamentally change the way people feel about attorneys, one client at a time, through caring, urgency, and aggression. And it is coming to life through The Real Raw and through many other mediums. So thank you for that share, Bella, because I feel that energy as well. And please.
Yeah. So, this has been a phenomenal experience with each one of you, and it doesn't have to end here. Tonight, every Monday night at 7 p.m., like, Sean unpacks, how to unpack value and handle objections every Monday night at 7 p.m. On Clubhouse. So you'll get the link for that. And then at 9 a.m. on Clubhouse, mayhem happens, monetization of your relationship capital. So that's exactly what you were talking about, Jordan, here today. So that how that's done, Sean unpacks every morning at 9 a.m. And then we are also, I feel like I am forgetting something, Sean, but other than that, a strategist will reach out to you, and like, this is not where it has to end. There's a formula, and we unpack that formula with a strategist. So when that call comes in, big secret, you want to take that call.
No, well, thank you, Beth. You're certainly not forgetting anything. Great job. Final. Thank you all. You know, I have the unique privilege of having being one of only 2 attorneys out of 1.2 million in America to have 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, a $27 million and $33 million verdict in 2014 and 16, and the only one that was blind. And the reason is because of the formula that we teach here. I had the privilege of Tony Robbins endorsing my work and saying some pretty remarkable things that Bella was in the room for. And the variety of environments that we walk into, whether it be charitable and contribution, the big stage of personal development, the courtroom and legal, the scaling and building of a law firm, all of those things are all the same. It's about going from hello to yes with human beings with integrity, maintaining those yeses, deepening those relationships, and creating exponential acceleration over time. And you were part of that today. And that's what the Real Raw is, because at the end of the day, it's about leaders causing leadership to make the world a greater place. And I thank each of you, Sandra, Grace, Jillian, Rebecca, Jordan, Bella, Gina, of course. Thank you all. You did a fantastic job. And so often we forget what's really present and what impact we can cause through our rise in money, time, and magic. And Bella Rita, that's because we're all blind
and just learning to see.
Yeah. Well, thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Great job.
I won't just survive.